In fact, what you are talking about is the best solution. We have to support our local manufacturer.
Exactly.
But what I was saying, we can do that, but it will take time
to catch up.
and our people are struggling. Our youth are jobless. And for us to be able to convince, you see, I was in Turkey. You see, if you go to Turkey and meet any citizen, they will start talking about the good thing about their country. In Turkey, citizens, they market their country. And every time you are able to bring an investor, the government gives you some incentives.
To do more of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Kenya, if you look at this generation, especially the youth, when they go to clubs, they go to clubs to drink, to dance, and all those sort of things, isn't it? If you visit this developed country, a club is a place where you can go and do your business. I was in club, I went to Turkey and I was invited in a club. We were given opportunity to talk about what we do. I come from Kenya, I deal with this and this. You get contacts. So it's a club, people are drinking, yet they're also doing business.
Right.
So you see, it's by the end of the day, it's also adding value to your business. It's not just about dancing.
Right.
And another thing that I want to talk to our youth, most youth think that all business need capital.
Right. We were talking about that. And so you said that not every business needs capital.
Yes.
How is that possible?
It's
You want to talk
very
more
possible.
about that?
Yeah.
Because
It's very
Yeah, how
possible.
do you go from being a
having no
charcoal
capital,
seller or a maize?
I want to tell you because
So-
it's something that I've done before.
Okay, well, let's hear it because I think it's important.
Most of this business, especially the service business, don't need capital.
Okay.
They need more of you.
Like
I
which one?
started my company. It's called Scratch Homes Limited. It's here in Kilimani and Lavington. By then, in business, we always have that up and down. Sometimes sometimes the business go down, sometimes there's nothing. There's a time I got to a level and I was flat, I had nothing. Then, I'm a very prayerful person. Then I went to my knees and I started praying to God to give me a divine direction, something that I can do, something that doesn't need capital. And I got this idea of becoming an agent. How does agents work? You have a property. I'll come to your property. I tell you I'll get for your tenant. You'll pay me a commission. After getting the tenant, that is how I started. I did not invest money.
So you became a real estate agent.
I started as a real estate agent.
Yeah. Okay.
And when I started making commission, that is when I went for an office.
Okay.
My security company, I started the same.
Interesting.
I went around looking for orders.
Right.
I got orders. I got people, even without uniform. They are there, they were taking, because the only thing that will happen, if you don't have a name, then you have to compromise on price.
Right.
So that is how I started. And I can tell you, before I went to Dubai, I sold my security company and I had more than 1,000 employees.
Wow.
And I did not start even with a single pen.
Wow.
That's very interesting. And I also see that you're the CEO of Calix Holdings. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Calix Holding, the way we started, Calix Holding had a security company. And Calix Holding is a company that we use to get ideas from out there. There's a time I went to Vietnam. I saw the electric scooters. I brought them here.
Okay.
But because of our road and the system, the business did not pick. I lost almost more than 15 million.
Whoa.
So that's why I'm telling you, in business, you have to be ready. Sometimes, you see, you might talk about making money. Not every time you make money. But I always tell people, if you want to prosper in business, the most important thing is to be honest. I had a showroom here, Scratch Homes Limited. Unfortunately, I closed it because of COVID. I had a lot of stock, and I had not invested in the stock. I was getting those products from people from different countries. I went to Turkey. I went to where I was getting goods on consignment. Go sell. After selling, give us
Bring
money.
the money back. Yeah.
Now, I want to touch something that is very, very important. that we have to discuss here.
Yes, yes.
Our people have lost so many opportunities, especially through this supermarket, the retail shops.
Okay.
We had Nakumat.
Mm-hmm.
Nakumat had employed 6,000 people. It was a very big supermarket.
Yeah, the biggest in Kenya.
It was a very big supermarket.
But it went on.
People started blaming the owners of Nakumat. They said these people transferred money, I don't know, to Canada, to where. And then after Nia, another supermarket that had employed more than 4,000 Kenyan closed. That was Tuskys. You remember Tuskys?
Yeah, Tuskys.
Tuskys closed. Then it was like, we have...
But I think I saw Tuskys still open in CBD, or some of them are still open. It's not completely shut down.
Tuskys, even if it's there, there used to be more than 40 branches.
Oh, but it's true, because I did go into the Tuskys and the shelves were like
empty.
Empty.
So
Yeah.
it's closing.
I want
It's not closed.
Yeah, if it's not,
in the
yeah.
process.
talk about Uchumi supermarket. How many branches do we have? Uchumi belongs to the government.
Okay.
They used
So
to.
what is the government doing selling retail?
There's nobody from the government sector
Yeah.
who talked about all those supermarkets that closed. Nobody wants to know exactly what happened.
Right. Now we
And
have
you know how
Carrefour.
many people lost. Leave alone that. We had even supermarket from South Africa that started branches in Kenya and they closed.
Wow. So tell us, and this is open to you as well,
Yeah.
because you're also Kenyan
Yeah.
and you know about this country as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it that is drying up all of these businesses in Kenya? Because the businesses, people depend on them to get a job, to get a means of livelihood.
Right.
And if they're drying up, then it's a matter of economic concerns for the citizen.
Yes.
So what is behind all of that?
To be honest, I was thinking that our Honorable Mheshimiwa would be able to answer that question for us, because he is in the system.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not
She
in the
just outsourced the task to you.
I-
I was looking at her to comment.
you see something funny.
Yes.
People, youth are losing opportunities.
Yeah. And
People-
they need more, not less.
People, you see what we are doing right now.
Yeah.
The government has the responsibility of protecting citizens
Absolutely.
and protecting business community.
Right.
You know, the reason why I was maybe supporting a different system from this is because I want to be, according to me, you know, if you look at the government, if you look at a country, any country, all countries in the world is like a pyramid. A pyramid, the way it looks like, the rich people are very few. And then we have the medium and the poor people.
Okay.
The masses.
That is where
The suffering masses.
Any business person always target the medium and the poor.
Right.
That is where we have numbers.
Right.
But when you come to the government, most government, especially if you go to United States,
Right.
they have a very good system. They can target this and they'll succeed.
Right.
But in our country, it's not easy.
Right.
When you say that you want to support the hustlers,
Right.
if you go to a country like Turkey, we have what we call the big five. Do you know the government is only concentrating on the 5 people? Only 5.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
Let me tell you what is happening. Even the biggest, I think right now it's the second biggest airport in the world,
In Turkey.
is in Istanbul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That government, that airport belongs to the big 5. I think they kicked one guy out. There are 4. It's belongs to those guys. You know, controlling few people is very easy.
Yeah.
And the moment you empower the government, empower and concentrate on these few, either the top or the medium, it's very easy for them to employ these other people. This government said that they are going to support hustlers.
Right.
They gave out 500 shillings.
I couldn't believe it.
500, what kind of business?
500 shillings for who? For what?
And do you know what? I mean,
What was it called again? The what fund?
Hustler Fund.
Hustler Fund, yeah.
500 shillings.
Yes,
well,
capital.
they made it seem like they were going to give like a lot of money for people to start businesses and things like that. But
Yes.
that was how much they were giving.
That
per
was a
person.
campaign tool. They were saying
Yeah,
when they get into the government, they are going to support the poor.
yeah,
So they were promising around 50K per person.
yeah.
So what they have done, they have given 500 shilling.
As a down payment.
And
for
that
the
money,
50K.
no, listen. That money you're supposed to pay within 14 days.
Yeah.
And with an interest of 8%. I'm in finance.
Wow.
If you pay 500 within 8%
Right.
and within 14 days, then they give you your same 500 they give you, they keep the profit. They keep on rolling that money. Do you know by the end of the year, it will be more than 100%. It's more expensive than what you're getting from the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is exactly what will happen.
Which is strange because the same government was the one who said that they were going to try and get rid of all these Shylocks and these lending apps that are harassing Kenyans. But now they've turned into the ones who are going to be harassing Kenyans.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
very expensive.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because the government, by its very nature,
Yeah.
by the very existence, is supposed to be working for the common good
Yeah.
Yes.
in support of its citizens. But it seems like we have a government here that is exploiting its citizens from what you're
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly.
And that's not right.
And I think you see, by the end of the day,
Yeah, right.
after 5 years, the government will tell you, we gave you 50,000.
Hustlers fund.
50,000.
Right.
Is your 50 bob, 500 shilling, they roll it. So by the end of the year, they give you, you pay after 14 days, they give you back. So they'll tell you we gave you more than 50,000, but there's no single day that they give you 50K. They keeps on giving you 500.
So it's just a psychological
trick.
trick.
Yes.
It's a trick.
And
That's
you cannot
insane.
do. I think if you ask me, if I look at a country like Dubai, those countries that they are using the kingship kind of leadership, they are doing very well
Okay.
as compared to this democratic.
Right.
Because you see, you cannot steal from yourself. And that's why you see, if you go to Dubai right now,
Right.
the government protect their own citizen. If you have a company in Dubai and you have more than 50 employees, you are told one of them has to be a local. If you go to Dubai right now, the locals, when it comes to the utility like electricity,
Right.
water bills,
Right.
they pay cheaper than foreigners. But in our country, people respect white more than, not even in our country, in Africa. They
Yeah.
respect white.
Reverse racism.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I've been.
Go ahead, please. Please go ahead.
I mean, I've been to like the Hilton or something. You just check in, and the security, they look at you and they check your bag really rough, and then because you're black, the person behind you is white, and they're like, "Jumbo, welcome." I mean, honestly, this person could have been a runaway murderer. You know, he could have been like the lowest class citizen in their country,
Yeah.
but here we are,
Fleeing
you
from
know,
the law.
putting them on a
pedestal.
pedestal, and I realize I like to say that a lot.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed is that you're really, really passionate about the youth and creating opportunities for them and business ideas. You've mentioned an e-commerce platform that you want to create for the young generation. Now, since we are at JOfuasia Media House, and ideally this is a content creation platform for young people, as a businessman, what do you think are some of the things that you could equip us with in business mindset as an artist? What are the ideas or tips that you would give us, business oriented ideas for artists to make money?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
I love music.
Okay.
I love watching movies. And one thing that I've realized, if you go to Nigeria, if you look at those movie stars, they're very rich. If you go to even Nigeria and you look at those musicians and whatever, you go to Tanzania, they are doing very well. You know why?
Platinums.
Right.
They have invested in themselves. I want to give you a very good example about Kenya because I'm a Kenyan and I know the problem that is affecting Kenyan industry. Kenyan musicians, they don't know where to invest. If you want to do music, go to Nigeria. You'll find a musician, a very big musician. shooting a video in the same attire. But you find Kenyans, they invest in stupid things. He will change clothes like 10 times. Instead of you doing that, why don't you invest that money in the quality of the video? There's this Luya song. I'm a Luya and I love music. There's a Luya song that a guy sang, a very nice song called Vida. Everything was super. The guy called me and he sent to me the song. I like the song.
Yes.
The song started trending even before he shot the video.
Wow.
But now, if you look at the video and the song is the bigger than the video.
Okay.
So if you go to these other countries, you find that there's
balance.
There's somebody who is going to handle the video. The manager, the person who is going to make sure that the quality and everything about the video is perfect.
Right.
There's somebody who's going to handle the music.
Right.
And you find Kenyans, they want to rush. Right. They want to get money very fast. And then you find there are some Kenyan celebrity, they end up committing suicide.
Wow.
Because of what? Because of the pressure from the society.
Showbiz.
So why would they commit suicide? Because
the pressure from the society. Because if you see a celebrity in a matatu, you are like, what is happening?
It's true. It's true. As I will speak for like media personalities because I am one. A lot of people think that journalism pays a lot. Well, in certain companies they do, and some don't. But if you happen to see Betty Chalo in a Ken chick, you'll be like, what? What is she doing there? Doesn't she get paid enough? Or you see her on TV in the same outfit from last week. You're like, didn't she wear that last week? The pressure is real to, have that celebrity lifestyle and status, driving a limo. And so a lot of people get into debt. A lot of the celebrities in Kenya get into debt.
You see, that is the biggest problem that you make.
So it sounds like we have a real value problem, right?
It is a very big problem.
Yeah, because we elevate the inconsequential, right?
Yeah.
It's not substantive, right?
Yeah.
But you're arguing for quality rather than all the superficial stuff. And so what you want to come to work with a limousine, and so you get into debt to buy them.
Yeah.
And then when it's time to pay, you commit suicide.
Yeah.
That's unwise.
Let me tell you something. I want to be very open with you people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kenya, I've done a lot of things in this country. I've been in marketing.
Right.
Kenyans buy anything that is hyped. And I want to tell artists, you are giving yourself unnecessary pressure.
Wow.
I have parked cars at home. I walk. Sometimes I go to town. I live here at Lavington. But I just walk. I go to town. I don't use my car. When I was coming here, I was walking.
Us, like...
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Every time I walk.
Yeah. Good exercise too.
No, it's exercise. The reason I decided to walk,
right.
immediately after politics, I realized I developed blood pressure. And they told me, avoid cars. That is number one. Number two, I've learned every time I walk, I find myself even getting so many ideas. Because the people with good ideas are these poor people. The moment you sit down with them, even life is fun. Sometimes I sit with those mamas. I didn't know they are from my village. I thought they are Muslim.
Yeah.
The one that sit here.
Yeah.
I came to realize they are from my village. We speak the same language, and they are there. I asked him, "How comes you go to the mosque to borrow and you're Christian?" They told me, "No, Christians are not as generous as Muslim."
Are you kidding? So they're actually Christian?